So I've tacked up my horse, I've brought her into the arena, and I've walked around the arena once in each direction, just to introduce her to anything that's new or scary that she might not have seen before, like a blanket sitting on the rail or something like that. So now I'm ready to get on. I'm going to put the reins over her head, and I'm just going to loop my elbow through the rein here, just to keep hold of it. I'm going to tighten my girth. And I want it tight enough that I can get my hand in there, but I can't really pull it away very far. So it's nice and snug, but not so tight that it's hurting her. I'm going to check my stirrups to see that I've adjusted them correctly. And if need be, I will either put them up a hole and run it back up, or down a hole. And I always want the buckle to be hidden under the stirrup flap right here, or the skirt, so that it doesn't hurt my leg. I'm going to go around to the other side. Pull this stirrup down. I'll check it as well. I know it's the same length. And now I'm going to lead my horse to the mounting block. I'm going to go on one side of the block, and she's going to go on the other so that she stays nice and close to the block. I'm going to gather the reins in my left hand. I'm going to grab a little bit of mane at the same time. This is so that if I slip when I'm getting on or off, it doesn't pull on the reins, which would hurt her mouth. I'm going to take the stirrup in my right hand, put my toe, and just my toe, I don't want it all the way through, so just the ball of my foot in the stirrup. I'm either going to put my hand flat on the back of her saddle, or if I need a little bit more help getting on, I can also put my hand over here so that when I get on the saddle, it doesn't pull the saddle this way. So let's do it this way for now. So I'm going to step into the stirrup and swing my leg over. So if you're a heavier rider and the saddle tends to slide, it's not a bad idea to put your hand over here, grab hold of the stirrup leather, and then as you put your weight over here, that's holding the saddle centered. So even though I've got my weight in my stirrup on the left side, I've got the weight of my body on the right side, keeping the saddle centered.
Go.
So once I'm in the saddle, I pick up the reins, and the reins are coming through the bottom of my hand. And if I think about putting my thumb towards my chest, that's how I know my hand's in the right place. So thumbs are up, pinkies are free, and the rein is coming up through the bottom of my hand, and here's the loose part that comes up out of the top of my hand. Now, my thumb and forefinger are pinching the rein right here. So this is where the security of my grip is. These two fingers here are loose and gently touching the palm of my hand. These are my fine control. This is my strength right here. And I can tell, with laced reins, I can tell if the reins are twisted or not by whether my thumbs fit in these V's in the lacing. If your rein is upside down, the V will be pointing the wrong way. Now when I'm in the saddle and just holding the reins lightly, they are making a straight line from my horse's bit to the rein, to my wrist, to my elbow. And I should just have enough pressure on there that if I squeeze my hands a little bit, she'll feel that and move backwards. And you can tell she notices that because she's moving the bit with her mouth.
Oh, okay, now go.
When I'm sitting in the saddle, I want to be centered in the deepest part of the saddle here. I've got my hip over my heel and my shoulder over my hip, so I should have a straight line that goes run from shoulder to hip to heel, and another straight line that goes from knee to toe. My spine is nice and tall, my head is erect and loose on top, like an upside down apple. It's just being held by the stem. So you can think of your head being nice and free and loose like a bobblehead on top, but your neck is nice and tall, pulling straight upward. To make my horse go forward, I squeeze with both legs, and we walk off. To make my horse turn, I squeeze. I'm turning right, so I'm squeezing with my right hand, and she turns in a circle. And to make her stop, I just pull gently back on the reins. Now I'm going to go in a left circle. I squeeze her to go forward. And then to stop, gentle squeeze with both reins. I'm not pulling back really hard. I'm just squeezing until she stops. Now, the emergency stop, if you're squeezing with the reins, you're pulling back, your horse is not stopping, say a bomb goes off, your horse is galloping away, emergency break. Grab a bit of mane with one hand, take this hand, and tuck your thumb behind your knee. This bends my horse's head around in a circle, and she can't gallop very far, very fast this way. Hopefully you'll never have to use that.